All right, so let's listen to this very conversation that this presenter Rita had with a leftist. As a matter of fact, she was actually mocking a leftist, calling conservatives red. It's actually a very interesting dialogue. So let's get down to the video and check this out.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It. And let's hear from a lefty explaining why they believe conservatives are weird. Can't wait to hear this.
What is something weird about conservatives?
There is almost a cultish vibe, I feel. The way they operate within themselves, they refuse to listen to outside people, you know, they're refusing to learn, essentially. I think that is a large part of it.
Perfect. Yep, they're the folks calling you weird for believing in biological reality, borders, law and order. Let's go to New York now, where dyeing your armpit hair pink is now an expression of gender identity. Confused? Watch this.
Have you ever gone to a salon to dye your armpit and eyebrow hair? Well, if you haven't, now's your chance.
This Pride Month, Billy is hosting a complimentary
That means free
hair affirmation station at Happy Place Studio in New York City, where you can get your body hair styled and dyed.
For me, expressing myself through my hair is such an important part of feeling confident in my appearance as a queer person.
Not only does dyeing my hair make me feel empowered, it helps affirm my gender identity too.
Dyeing our hair together has always been a bonding experience, and having this opportunity at a salon instead of at home has just been really exciting and fun.
You know, the Democrats must be getting desperate because they're sending celebrities to door knock and hug constituents in the swing states. Here is Hanoi Jane Fonda door knocking in Michigan.
I've never done this for a president. I've done it for, I had an ex-husband who came from Royal Oak, Michigan.
Ooh.
I've done it for him. But I've never done it for a president, but this is most important.
Oh, definitely.
We have to get them elected.
Talking about kooky celebs, remember when Howard Stern was edgy and cool? Me neither, I'm not 100. Stern is only getting worse. Listen to this bile-filled rant about Trump supporters.
I hate the guy. I hate the people who vote for him. I think they're stupid. I do. I'll be honest with you. I have no respect for you.
Now to one of the Democrats' biggest celebrity backers, Puff Daddy P. Diddy, Sean Combs. He has many names and is now facing many serious charges. But it wasn't long ago that P. Diddy was endorsing Democrats, raising money for them and running vote campaigns. He was so prolific and effective that Jimmy Kimmel wanted him to run for president. Remember this?
Maybe you could be president. Do you ever think about anything like that?
No. What about you?
Yeah, and I wouldn't do a better job, but I think I would, you know what, I would, if you agreed to run for president, I would be happy to be your running mate. Let's put it that way, all right?
Now to CBS, where a reporter had this triggering news for lefties about the battleground state of Nevada. It seems nowadays Nevada is MAGA country.
But what was really incredible is in every single restaurant of the people willing to talk to us, we could only find one Harris supporter in every restaurant, and we left no stone unturned. I approached every single person.
Now, every now and then, CNN allow a lone figure from the centre-right to appear on one of their panels to be typically bashed by lefties, but here Scott Jennings manages to extract from the CNN crew that they know the bloodbath lie is a lie, but they allow it to be aired daily without correction or context.
It is said by every Democrat working for or around her campaign every day on this network and every other one. The bloodbath thing is stated every single day.
Okay, let me
But my point is, dictator, bloodbath, eliminate Constitution.
Hold on.
What do you think
Let's just clear this up. You're referring to Trump's use of the word bloodbath when he was talking.
And what was he talking about?
I'm going to explain it to people because I think there's confusion about this. Use of the word bloodbath when he was talking about, vehicle manufacturing jobs in the United States. Vice President Harris improperly and unfairly mischaracterized that as him saying there would be a bloodbath if he were elected. However, she did not say that if Trump were elected, there would be a bloodbath. She did not say
I know you have interviewed and had people out here and have watched the same coverage I have. The bloodbath garbage is a pillar of the Democratic campaign against Trump, as is dictator, as is eliminate the U.S. Constitution.
And here is Don Lemon on CNN spewing a bunch of lies and hyperbole, including the aforementioned bloodbath lie. This is all to show that the assassination attempts against Trump are, well, his own fault.
Crooked Joe, Crooked Hillary, Crooked Kamala, Comrade Kamala, deranged Jack Smith, bird brain Nikki Haley, bloodbath if he's not elected. There won't be another election if he's not elected. Bringing drugs or bringing crime, they're rapists. Poisoning the blood of our country, destroying the blood of our country, which was something that was Hitler-esque. Communist, Marxist.
Donald Trump was today a panellist on Gutfeld, a top-rating late-night show on Fox News, and he was in great form, even joking about the latest attempt on his life.
I always said golf is a very dangerous game.
If they had told you that the shooter was there, would you have tried to take him out with your 3-wood?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, if I knew. Actually, the Secret Service did a great job. They saw the barrel of a gun, big gun.
Yeah.
And it came out through bushes. And how many people would see that? He really was very exceptional.
And he spoke about how incredibly lucky he has been in both these assassination attempts, or perhaps it's something more than luck.
Fortunately, so far, I've been very lucky, or something is greater than all of us.
Ooh.
It is. Something is up there. Someone is up there, maybe watching over us.
I think he's voting for you.
Yeah. It's funny. I always thought the most dangerous job was feeding The View. But you bring up God, and you've almost been killed twice. Do you think more about your own mortality and what happens after you move on?
Yeah, not about mortality, but I do think more about God because, okay, Butler was really the greatest of all miracles. If I'm not looking over there, and I mean a full turn, exactly 90 degrees, I wouldn't be here right now, and your ratings would be a little bit lower, perhaps.
Yeah.
Now let's bring in Sky News contributor Kosha Gator. Kosha, that was quite the performance from the former president.
Indeed, he really was in great form. A little bit of humor, very relaxed, humility in terms of talking about divine providence, if that was at play over here. And it just goes to show again, President Trump really has a lot of range. I think that's underrated about him, where he can go from a late night comedy format like this to long-form podcasts with younger Gen Z type talent, to his short-form tweets that he's famous or infamous for, to everything else in between. And that is a very important asset in this noisy media landscape that we live in, coupled with the fact that mainstream media is such a gatekeeper for him. He really has a way of getting his message and his personality through, and that's why he is where he is.
I do wonder whether he's going to come back to X completely. He's got just tens of millions of followers there. He's persisting with Truth, which I know is a business that's now enormous, multi-million-dollar business, but the audience is on X, and I wonder as we get closer to the election whether he's going to be more prolific on that side. Now, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has released a new campaign ad outlining his plans to work alongside Trump on tackling America's broken food and pharmaceutical system. Here's just a little bit of the ad.
In 2004, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was the darling of liberals in the Democratic Party establishment, an environmentalist unafraid to sue the biggest and most powerful polluters in America. But then, the Democrats began to abandon the ideals he believed in, like peace, freedom of speech, honest government, and the working class. The rank-and-file Democrats didn't realize it at first, but over the years, the DNC became the tool of big money, the war machine, and the very corporations Kennedy had battled his entire career.
Kosha, how do you see the RFK Jr. endorsement? Trump is seeing both RFK and Tulsi Gabbard, who's another former Democrat, really step up their advocacy for him. They're doing speeches, they're doing interviews, they're doing ads. Is it of any value now that Kamala is the candidate?
I think so. I think one is in terms of message, just having former Democrats, very prominent Democrats endorse him, along with the Silicon Valley folks and hedge fund guys and rappers and Latino music stars and daytime talk show hosts. Yes, all of them coming out. It just makes him more palatable and more acceptable, I think, as a brand than he was 4 and certainly 8 years ago. In RFK's case in particular, there is a mathematical consequence to it, that 1 to 2 points of his support that he actually was able to consolidate when he was running, telling them to vote is another thing. And then also I think in his case is broadening the message more around all this health and childhood health and everything else, which will make Trump, I think, more palatable to those suburban moms that he's always struggled with, because a lot of them do trust RFK's track record on this, and I think that does carry weight.
Well, we've also got prominent former Republicans, or some people will call them rhinos, Republicans in name only, backing Harris. I would argue that actually doesn't hurt Trump too much because they're precisely the figures that that Republican base, well, borderline loathes these days. I mean, that's why we have a Trump, because those characters really did undermine trust amongst their voter base. But couldn't that hurt Trump to have the likes of Romney and I'm trying to think who else from the Cheneys,
the McCain's son, I think, came out. I think you're right that by now, by 2024, not so much, because it's just crystallizing this whole, the shape of the two parties is changing, and it's about populism versus the establishment, and those guys really personify establishment, and I think, to your point, it just crystallizes how Trump has remade the Republican Party in his image, and I think that just furthers that message, and it's not going to get too many Democrats to vote for Kamala, I think.
That's a very interesting one, listening to Rita having couples of interview with different people, listening to their opinion, their thought on Donald J. Trump policy, threat to his life, and then some of those leftists supporting LGBTQ, painting themselves, and then all those things. Okay, a couple of things in a sentence to happen, you understand, lately, but then nevertheless it's just up to you to decide who you want to vote for. But at the end of the day, whosoever you understand you vote for, you have to live with the consequences of your own action. But you cannot be able to vote for the person, and then when it is after a year or two, then you come up and then you start complaining about how things, you understand, are going on, you understand, in the country. The choice is yours. So whatever decision you make is up to you. But whatever decision you take, just be prepared to live with it. I know that a lot of you have thought and opinion in a sense concerning this. I want you to drop it at the comment section, and may God bless you as you do so. So this is the end of my video. If you like my reaction, should like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section, and I'm going to check it out. So you remain blessed, and I see you in my next video. Goodbye.